Our first story comes from a subscriber named Ethan from Chicago. It begins with a fight for love, but ends in a battle for his soul. Ethan writes, "My life with my wife Sarah didn't start the traditional way. In 2016, we got married in secret. We were young and afraid of our family's reactions, so for the first 6 months we lived apart. She stayed at her father's house to finish her studies, and I lived alone, stealing moments with her whenever she could visit. Eventually, we gathered the courage to tell our families. It was chaotic, but to our relief, they finally accepted us. By early 2017, everything felt perfect. I had a stable job, our families were happy, and Sarah and I were finally starting our life together under one roof. We thought the hard part was over. But we were wrong. The real horror began on the night of May 3rd, 2017. I was lying in bed when my phone buzzed. It was an unknown number on a messaging app. I picked up, and a girl's voice came through. She said her name was Luna. There was something hypnotic about her voice, a strange magnetic pull that I couldn't resist. We talked from 1 a.m. until 3:30 in the morning. That night was the beginning of my end. I became addicted to Luna. I stopped going to work, lost my job, and burned through my savings. I eventually had to move in with my in-laws in rural Wisconsin because I was broke. Even there, I spent every night talking to her for hours. But here's the chilling part. My family noticed I was talking, but when they checked my phone logs, there were no calls. To them, I was sitting in the dark, whispering to dead air. They thought I had lost my mind. Then came the nightmare. New Year's Day, 2018. I woke up screaming. In my dream, I was at a cemetery, lowering a body into a grave. When I uncovered the corpse's face, it wasn't a stranger. It was me. My own corpse opened its glowing red eyes and choked me, whispering, "Come to the grave soon." Things spiraled out of control. My wife, Sarah, heartbroken and terrified by my behavior, was forced to leave me. Broken and confused, I decided to go back to my childhood home to find peace. On the bus ride there, I felt like a zombie. I got off at the station late at night and started walking down the dark, empty country road. Suddenly, a familiar voice whispered right behind my ear, "I brought you here to kill you in front of your mother." It was Luna. I looked at the empty cornfields beside the road. Voices echoed from the darkness. "Who will kill him, you or me?" I looked down and saw shadows, 7 or 8 dark figures crawling onto my body. I screamed for God and blacked out. I woke up in my mother's house. My uncle had found me in the fields, unconscious, with fresh blood dripping from my leg. A local demonologist, an expert in the supernatural, was called in. And that's when the buried truth came out. The expert looked at me and revealed a secret I had blocked from my memory. Years ago, in my early 20s, I used to be an apprentice to a paranormal investigator. I helped him with exorcisms. One night, we were at a farmhouse treating a possessed woman. We drew a protective salt circle to trap the entities. In the chaos of the ritual, a spirit child got trapped inside the circle. I didn't see it. I accidentally stepped on its chest with my full weight, and I crushed it. We banished the others, but I had killed their child. My mentor gave me a specific protective amulet that night and told me, "Never take this off." But I was arrogant, and I stopped wearing it. That's how she found me. Luna wasn't a human. She was the mother Djinn. She seduced me, destroyed my marriage, and lured me to that field to kill me, revenge for her child. That night, the demonologist performed a dangerous ritual. He used a glass vessel to trap the vengeful spirits. A storm raged outside, tearing branches off trees, but he managed to seal them inside the bottle. I survived, but I lost the love of my life. I learned the hard way that you can run from your past, but if you leave the door open, the darkness will always follow you home.
Our next story comes from Caleb in Savannah, Georgia. He shares a terrifying ordeal that happened to his childhood friend, Aaron. This is a story of betrayal and black magic. Caleb writes, "This happened when Aaron was in the 5th grade. He lived in a large old house near the river. His family lived on the ground floor and his aunt lived upstairs. It began with something subtle. Aaron started waking up to a low humming sound. One morning, he stepped out of bed and felt something wet. He turned on the lights and froze. Fresh drops of blood were scattered on the floor right next to his bed. His mother dismissed it as a nosebleed or a squashed bug. But it happened again and again. Blood appearing out of nowhere. Then money started vanishing from locked drawers. The atmosphere in the house grew heavy. Aaron's mother started getting sick. She lost weight rapidly and even suffered a sudden, unexplained heart attack. Then the dreams started. Aaron dreamt of an old woman in strange robes, chanting spells in a language he didn't understand. She looked like a witch from an old folklore tale. When he told his mother, she turned pale. She was having the exact same nightmare. Desperate, Aaron's uncle called in a demonologist, a specialist in breaking curses. He swept the house and confirmed their worst fear. Someone has buried a powerful hex on this family. They want you dead. The specialist sealed the house with a protective circle. That night, the entity fought back. Aaron fell into a fever dream where the witch and 2 shadow figures chased him through a dark forest. The next morning, Aaron's mother wasn't herself. She woke up with eyes wide and unblinking. She spoke in a deep, demonic voice that wasn't hers. She pointed at Aaron and growled, "I will take the boy. Give him to me, or I will kill you all." She lunged at him. It took 3 family members to hold her down. The uncle, knowing what to do, pressed a pressure point on her hand and recited a prayer. She screamed, a sound that didn't sound human, and collapsed. The specialist returned, performed a final exorcism, and gave them protective amulets. He told them never to take them off. Months later, the truth came out. The witch wasn't a ghost. It was a close relative who had hired a practitioner of the dark arts. The motive? The house. They wanted to wipe out Aaron's family to inherit the property. They are safe now, but Aaron never forgot the look in his mother's eyes that morning. It was a reminder that sometimes the true monsters are your own blood.
Thank you for listening. If these stories sent a shiver down your spine, hit that like button and subscribe for more.